Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright everybody, hello and welcome to On Tap Sports. Now, today was supposed to be Alabama versus Miami, the preview for that, but that has been postponed until tomorrow because this conference realignment stuff, this conference alliance stuff, it is the hot topic right now and I'm ready to get in on it. I don't have sources. I'm not going to talk about, what all this means. You've seen enough of that. You got ESPN, you got YouTube, you've got ways and resources to see that stuff. So, you've already seen it, okay? What I'm going to talk about is what this channel's about anyways, which is entertainment. So let's just entertain this idea and let's see what you guys think about it. I want to know in the comments below what you think about both the realignment of the SEC, getting Oklahoma and Texas, as well as the alliance between the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 that was announced yesterday. Here are my thoughts about it. I think it's a good thing. I really do think this is a good thing. The traditionalist in me, as a Michigan fan, we're all about going back towards tradition because we don't have anything going on in the contemporary era. But the traditionalist in me doesn't like this idea, of course, because nobody wants to see college football change, but all good things continue to evolve. They don't come to an end, they continue to evolve, and now we are evolving. The Big Ten, the SEC, the Pac-12, they had to do something in response to what the SEC had done. Like it or not, that's what they had to do. And there's other issues that we won't get into as to why they had to do this, but let's be honest. The Big Ten Commissioner, Kevin Warren, says that this has nothing to do with what the SEC did, bringing in Oklahoma and Texas, but it obviously very much did. Okay, somebody moved a chess piece and those three conferences decided to react to that. Now, here's why I think this is going to be a good thing moving forward. First of all, like you, I'm so sick and tired of dynasties in their respective conferences, sometimes undeserved. Now, when we think about a team like Clemson, it's very much deserved. They've proven that they're good even just outside of the ACC, but they are very much a beneficiary of being in a conference that's weak to no fault of their own. And to have to watch Clemson go to the playoffs every single season and just skate through their conference is not fun, There's a reason why Alabama had the year where they played Michigan in the bowl game and didn't make it to the playoffs that season. It's because they don't have that same cakewalk every single season that Clemson does. And one of my better examples of this is Oklahoma. Oklahoma makes it all the time and never gets past that first round game. Or Washington 2016, their out of conference schedule that season, a season where Saquon Barkley and Trace McSorley and Penn State caught absolute fire after starting the season like 3-2. They caught absolute fire, had a great chance to make the playoffs. They were not in it because of Washington. Another team was my Michigan Wolverines that season. Here was Washington's out-of-conference schedule that year. It was Idaho, Portland State, and Rutgers. Mind you, this is a Rutgers team that Michigan beat 78-0 that year. So here's how I gather all that up and bring it into one whole thought, which is, now that we're doing these alliances and this conference realignment, all of a sudden teams are going to have one more loss on their schedule, more than likely. We're going to see more conferences battling against each other, the best of the best, and all of a sudden teams are going to be left out because they had to schedule harder out-of-conference opponents and lost those in some instances. So I'm all for it. Because yes, right now you can schedule that, but nobody does. Because why? Why would you? Teams like Washington and Oklahoma and Clemson, why would they schedule tough out-of-conference opponents? Now, they have. Michigan, Washington scheduled. Clemson scheduled Georgia this season. Oklahoma's had games against Ohio State. They have, but what I'm saying is they don't really benefit from doing that. As seen by that 2016 Washington team, you can skate through. You don't have to have that tough out-of-conference game. Now, shrinking these conferences down and making them have alliances and Pacs and realignments, that's forcing them to play each other. Georgia in the east portion of the SEC, they've had it a little bit easy. Florida's had some good seasons, and who else? Who else? Now, all of a sudden, Oklahoma, Texas join the conference. It's not going to be as easy for teams like Georgia and teams like Florida to win their division. So that is a very, very good thing. It is going to be a much more competitive, parallel even playing field across each conference. Who knows what's going to happen with the Big 12? Who knows what's going to happen with it? My guess is it very likely could dissolve, which is weird. It's weird to say that, but college football has evolved, and now we're going to start talking playoff expansion, and things are just going to get that much more interesting. I'm tired, guys, and I know Nick Saban is too, and Alabama fans in general. I'm tired of those weeks where the SEC schedules all those easy games, and I understand why they do it and why they have to do it, but it's not good. It's not a fun weekend to watch. Most of the time, I just go out elsewhere and don't do anything on those weekends because why? Why watch them? They're not as entertaining, and like it or not, even as a Big Ten guy, SEC football is premier right now and has been for quite some time. So yes, I think this conference realignment, I think this conference alliance between the Pac-12, Big Ten, and ACC is all good moving forward. If you get all the tradition and how things have always been out of the way, you're going to start to see a more complete system, a more complete product for college football, and it's for the better. It's for the better. We're going to see basically playoff atmosphere, playoff-like games in the regular season. I don't know about you, but I'm all for that. With all that out of the way, I could speculate all day on which teams are going to go where, how this is all going to play out, but that's what Heather Dinich at ESPN is for. I'll just continue keeping an eye on that just like you are. Again, I'm not going to pretend to have sources or anything of the sort. I'm just a guy trying to entertain myself and the masses, the people that have somehow, some way found this channel. Again, let me know how you feel about all this. Now hearing what I had to say about it, if you originally thought it was a bad idea, did I sway your mind at all? Did I change it? I'm not looking to do that, but I'm just curious. Let me know what you think about this. Give me some new perspectives that I didn't think about, because that's one thing I love about reading in the comments is seeing your guys' perspective and saying, you know, I didn't really think about that, and that's good. That gives me more knowledge, more ideas for this channel to continue moving forward. Alabama and Miami, the preview will be up tomorrow. We'll continue with the rest of the previews that I have scheduled up until college football season. But again, I had to get this one out. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And hey, if you liked what you saw today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day. Probably the best week 1 matchup I have seen in a very, very long time. In fact, off the top of my head, I can't think of a better one than this one. Clemson versus Georgia, 7:30 p.m. on ABC at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Clemson opens as a 3-point favorite. 51.5 is the over-under. And first thing I want to say is, I